There once was a brilliant man named Abel who wanted to be everything. He had so many interests, but most of all, he wanted to be a healer. I will study to be a physician, Abel said to himself. I like helping people, and a physician is a respectable profession. So, Abel packed his bags and went off to learn the art of healing. But the lessons were hard, and the sick under his care often complained. One day, a sick man assigned to his care said to the chief healer, "This young man knows nothing. Keep him away from me before I grow worse." Hearing this, Abel was ashamed. He left his training and fled the town. "Perhaps I was not meant to be a healer," he said. "Perhaps I am meant to be an inventor, a bringer of wonders. Through my devices I could ease the labors of men and serve more souls than I ever could by tending to one body at a time." And so Abel set himself to work. Before long, he forged a strange contraption that drew water out of the very air. "Can you imagine the people this could help?" Abel said to his friends, his voice tinged with pride. "This could help farmers and people living in areas where fresh water is scarce. Even the travelers lost in dry lands. All could be saved by this." And so, Abel got back to perfecting his machine, but soon it developed a problem, and no matter what he did, he couldn't get it to work. Dejected, Abel abandoned his machine and set out to a new land and in search of a new project. He arrived in an idyllic town with beautiful beaches and weather and a lot of tourists, and he thought to himself, "Maybe I've been going about life the wrong way. Maybe all I need is a simple life." A part of me wanted to be a doctor and an inventor because of the respect and acclaim it would bring. But now, I want to be a farmer. I would buy a piece of land and get to farming and be very happy and content. And that was exactly what Abel did. And, at first, farming seemed to agree with him. His crops did well, and he took them to the local market to sell them, and soon Abel's farm and produce became very popular. Tourists would pay a stipend to visit and tour his farm, and Abel became somewhat of a local celebrity. Until, one unfortunate summer, none of his crops did well. His flowers and fruit trees were affected by pests, and his horses fell ill. Abel tried to keep a brave face, but eventually he confided in a friend that he wanted to sell off his farm and do something else. "Did you not enjoy the abundance your farm gave you?" his friend asked in surprise. "If we enjoy the abundance, we must also endure the challenges." "Yes, but this is too much for me," Abel replied dejectedly. "This always happens to me, and I'm weary of it. Maybe I should try my hand at something less taxing, less uncertain. Perhaps I'll work as an apothecary's apprentice. That way, I can earn an honest wage without the worries that come with owning land or trade. Farming is too burdensome." And so, Abel became an apothecary's apprentice. He worked quietly, grinding herbs and mixing potions under the watchful eye of his master. One afternoon, while his teacher was away, a servant entered the shop. She was the handmaiden of a noblewoman who lived on the hill. "My lady suffers from a terrible itching, and, even now, she suffers in her chariot just outside your door," the handmaiden said. "She asks for a potion to bring her relief." Abel nodded, eager to prove himself. He measured and mixed the herbs as he had been taught, poured the potion into a small vial, and handed it to the handmaiden. But not long after, the door burst open again. The same handmaiden returned, now with one of her ladies' guards beside her. "What did you give my mistress?" the guard demanded. "Her itching has grown worse than before." Abel's heart sank. He looked over the shelves and bottles in confusion, his hands trembling, but he could not tell what had gone wrong. "The noblewoman could have me arrested," he thought miserably. "Perhaps this is the lesson the heavens would teach me, that men like me are not meant to be anything at all. Potions take some time to work." Abel stammered when the guard demanded again to know what he had given their mistress. And no sooner had he spoken than another guard rushed into the shop. "Peace, peace," he cried. "Our lady is well again. The itching has stopped." As Abel watched the guards and handmaiden retreat, he felt relief but also pride. He had brought relief to someone in dire need of it. Perhaps this was the lesson the heavens had been trying to teach him, that problems were part of life, but they were not always a sign to give up. From that day, Abel remained at the apothecary's shop. The work was steady, and though each day brought its own challenges, he faced them with a calmer heart. For the first time in a long while, Abel did not feel the need to run.